Welcome to One-on-One. I'm Greg Bassett, your host from the Salisbury Independent newspaper. It's a big day here at PAC 14. They're all big, but we've got one of my best friends in the house, Grace Foxwell Murdoch. Welcome, Grace.
Thank you so much for having me, Greg. Glad to be here.
Now, Salisbury has lots of great things, but we have one really great thing that I don't know any place else that has. We have a secretary of kindness.
Yes.
And that's you.
I know, and I love this designation. I love telling people, especially from out of town, my title. It's great fun.
And how do they react to this?
Oh my gosh, they get a big smile because that's what kindness does for people.
Right.
Big smiles all the time.
Now, there are times when I'm out and about and I'm not really in the mood to be kind, but something in you comes out. I used to have my bracelet. I don't know where it is. I still have it somewhere. But the kindness bracelet would remind me to be kind, and you inspire me, so I know you inspire others.
Thank you. I just have been given this wonderful journey. I feel very blessed, and I have lots of people on board because it is a thing in Salisbury to be kind. And if you haven't noticed it, just look for it. As soon as you think about kindness, you'll see it everywhere.
So what do you do to promote kindness?
We are a wonderful, powerful commission that Jake Day and I created after we got our first World Kindness USA City designation in October 2019.
Which is a big deal.
It's huge. Our banner will go up again for the National Folk Festival on the parking garage, stating that. We'll soon be reviewed to maintain that title. So we're very excited about that. But I can tell you that COVID did not stop kindness, Greg. We had a great time. The commissioners, 20 commissioners, Kind SBY, we were very busy during the whole pandemic.
So take me through some of the stuff you've been doing.
All right. The very first thing we did, we ran a campaign to bless our businesses, our restaurants, and the first responders. And we asked for donations, and over $5,200 was donated to provide business for the restaurants to send out meals. Kitty's Flowers made sweet and salty baskets for places that could not receive meals. And the businesses profited, and so did the first responders because their hearts were filled and they were thanked. And I think our community has done a tremendous job with the response to the pandemic to care for one another. It has been an explosion of kindness, and that's what we want to see continue. After we did the restaurant campaign, we looked toward the schools because as kindness commissioners, we want to get the young people on board. And when the racial unrest started through the awful incidents that were taking place in our country, we decided to do a Celebrate Diversity campaign, and we asked the community to donate books through a wish list on Amazon, and they responded with over $2,000 worth of books that went to our elementary and middle schools so that children could see themselves in the illustrations as authors and as the main characters in the books. And that was a huge benefit to our schools. As soon as children started coming in, I know that the teachers used these books so that the children could see themselves.
And that initiative was so successful and so popular that my favorite newspaper made you the Person of the Year.
I know. I was very pleased.
We were voted that. I mean, we just
exactly.
We just were able to honor you with that. So.
I was very surprised by that, and I look forward to voting again this year.
Yeah, exactly. That's starting up right now. Yeah,
exactly. And I've seen that in your favorite paper and my favorite paper. But we've just continued with activities when the commission recognizes a need in the community, and it's something that we can manage because we have sponsorships, but we have very few. And we've just started our renewal sponsorship campaign that everybody can look for on kindsby.org. And we appeal to the public, and they respond with great donations every time. We had a wonderful little campaign with Dove Point around Easter time. We found these magnificent little, I called them chicks, but I'm pretty sure they're ducks. Anyway, Martin Hutchison and I had a discussion about that. But we went over one morning, beautiful, crisp morning, and as the clients arrived, we passed them a duck. It had a Kind SBY sticker on it and said, "We're just ducking in to check on you." And they were thrilled. They had people who went in the back door and didn't get one, and they immediately came out to the front and said, "Where is our stuffed duck? We want one." So that was great fun. And Don Hackett was such a wonderful host to have us.
What a great service they provide over there.
Exactly.
And those clients are just so, appreciative of everything they're able to do there, and the community appreciates it too. It's amazing over there.
Yes, we have a kindness ambassador there on staff as a client, and she is just spreading kindness for us there.
Right.
So that was great fun. But every time we see a need, we try to address it. Recently, I wanted something done along with the commissioners. We recognized the teachers, and we had, through the sponsorship and help of Purdue, the Learning Center downtown, and Long and Foster, they helped us have a billboard put on Route 13 at Union Avenue thanking the teachers, because I think they have done an amazing job this year. What they've had to address by being virtual, being out of their classrooms, having to walk out in March of last year and leave everything. It's phenomenal what they've done, and I really think that the public has responded, because when we asked for donations, we filled 8 bags of goodies for the teachers that, again, we put a wish list on Amazon, and we had pencils donated, Post-its donated, all kinds of things. Of course, there was chocolate in those bags, and we had 8 bags because last year the Teachers of the Year did not get their celebration.
Right.
So we packed bags for them, and this year's teacher finalists got the bags also, and they couldn't have been happier with all those goodies that were in those bags.
Now, you were a teacher for many years.
I was, 38-year education career,
What grade level? What did you teach?
I was in the classroom with 2nd grade, a couple years of 3rd grade for 23 years, and then I left and was very fortunate to have other wonderful jobs. I was a vice principal for a couple years, and my last job that I had was a new teacher coach, which after the classroom was my favorite job, because I wanted those new teachers to love it as much as I did. And it's a more challenging time with the children who are coming with other things that the children I taught early on have not had to face. I mean, just look at COVID and everything that they have to do now. I just applaud the teachers. I can't raise teachers up enough.
I'm going to get in trouble walking into this, but you have the exact personality that I think is perfect for a teacher, because you have a sense of firmness to you, but at the same time, if you perform correctly, there's a reward, there's a kindness that comes out of you. But I can see how firm you would be as a teacher, but also how rewarding you would be when a kid excels.
And I like that word firm. I don't like the word strict. But I have to say that I have to thank my family. I'm the youngest of 5 children. I was the toy of the family, and I was. They encouraged me to be the ham in the family a little bit, and I love performance in the classroom. They often say that 75% of teaching is performance and the other 25 is knowledge.
Right.
And you can always find what you need to teach the children, but you have to deliver it in a way that they are going to be able to learn. And that's the challenge now, that they're coming with other issues, and teachers have to be really on their game all the time.
While we're in teaching, I just want to mention real quick, I love the idea of the buddy bench. Tell us how the buddy bench works.
Oh my goodness, that buddy bench has been a wonderful project. It's in all elementary school playgrounds in Wicomico County, and that again came through with donations, but I also had a bank of money from my kindness bracelet that I sold to retailers, sold it for me also. And I wanted the children to have a place to go to sit on the playground if they didn't have a person to play with.
Right.
And the schools were all given the program, and they were told that as soon as someone's on that bench, a child is to go over and say, "Would you like to play?"
Right.
And that's how it worked. And also we sent books with every one of those benches so that teachers had books of kindness to read, to let the children learn. It's said that if you raise kind children, you're raising kind adults, and that's what's so important, I think.
Yeah, I think in my elementary school, I would have spent all my time on the buddy bench. But it's also an outlet, like if kids having a really bad time, a teacher can go over and kind of do some counseling.
Absolutely. And if they see that happening repeatedly, then there would be a guidance counselor or a teacher that would pick up on that. And that's what we've also said, that those benches can be a quiet place when it's not recess that people can use and have a dialogue and help children, I hope.
Yeah. Now, when COVID came, you were one of the first people I thought of, because I thought, what's Grace going to do in a COVID environment? But like you said, you have found other stuff to do.
Well, we were very fortunate that we could do some things contact-free, and that's what that program for the restaurants and the first responders did. But we have been busy the whole time, and as I referenced earlier, the community has responded in a way. You think about the Vulnerable Task Force, Greg, that has done so much to provide food and necessities for people in some of our communities. You think about Martin Hutchison, who has carried on with his community garden.
Yeah, I thought the gardens would be like like kind of a fad.
Yeah.
Because you get tired of it, or we get
Yeah.
still going strong after 7, 8 years,
Absolutely.
whatever it is. Yeah.
And City Green was one of the books that Martin and I used for a Title I meeting on Zoom for kids for Pinehurst.
Yeah.
As I said, when a need arises, we see if we can address it. I also have people on the commission, Dominique Sessa, her dad with the ice cream truck.
Right.
It's going to show up somewhere very soon. It's going to be a surprise. So we still have plans. We still have things that we are going to do.
Can you leak that to me so I know where to be?
Yes, I will tell you as a secret. The other thing that we just had happen at Third Friday was we had a banner made available to us by two wonderful people who thought of this idea to combine the Smiles Project and Painting Rocks Project.
Okay.
John Schlem has done installation of his Smile banners in places like in Canada, Rehoboth, Washington, D.C., and he has teamed up with Megan Maloney Murphy, who came here and painted rocks with some of our citizens.
Right.
And they have this Smile banner that they sent me all ready to be completed by the community. We did it at Third Friday. Many people showed up. It filled it. There were over 200 or 300 spaces to be filled. It's now in downtown,
right,
in our community art window, thanks to Brandon and Bell and Desiree Martin.
Right.
Martin, again, installed the banner for me, and for the community to enjoy, and people can walk by and it can't do anything but put a smile on their face. And it is to promote mental health, because during COVID, the banner project was to let people show their feelings, and they wrote things on the rocks. Not all the smiles were happy, because there were some very strained times for people, and they could put a little sad face on. But as we come out of this, I hope this banner invokes hope in everyone's heart and minds.
Another example of where I don't understand anything. So they wanted me to paint a rock, and I'm like, I'm not going to paint a rock. But then you get into it, and like it's very therapeutic. Yeah. And then you think about what kind of message that you want to put out. And of course, every message I want is negative, something awful. So I'm like, no. So then you sort of mine your mind to find the positive thing that you want to, express, something that's unique. It's really a cool little endeavor.
It is. And Megan Murphy reintroduced rock painting.
Inspiring. She's way too inspiring.
All over the country and throughout the world. Yeah. And her whole message was that your message might be just the right idea or message that someone needs to find that day. So she's a master of it, and she's been a great friend. They want to come at National Folk Festival. John and Megan want to come and see our banner and dedicate it through their attendance. So I'm hoping that works out. She's from Cape Cod, he's from Pennsylvania, so it's not that far away. Hope that works.
There was the guy from Australia who was here a couple times.
Yes. Michael Lloyd White.
Okay.
Yes, he was very instrumental in us receiving that title for the World Kindness Movement. I'm also in contact with the new president of the World Kindness Movement from India, Nirmala, and they are trying to get the United Nations to state that November 13th is an official World Kindness Day. right now it's not put out by the United Nations. They would like the world to recognize it. So we're writing stories and sending those to the World Kindness Movement, and we're trying to help them build the case for that designation.
Is that the time of the year when you would go out to the different businesses and you'd be looking for kindness and reward people?
Yes, and Jake just did his first official, during the welcome at the amphitheater the other day, his first official commissioner, he's a commissioner, deed was to give acknowledge a Kind SBY certificate to Julia Glanz, because Julia helped us throughout this whole pandemic. That anything we wanted to do for kindness, she was certainly on board. So we've had wonderful support from the city, from the mayor's office. We just couldn't be happier.
What about your dance? You used to do the big dance every year.
Does
that get to come back?
Last year it was virtual, but yes,
Right.
it will come back. And actually, Orly Waba, the founder of Life Fest Inside, who puts on Dance for Kindness, it's her 10th dance. So it will be a decade of Dance for Kindness.
Wow.
And she's living in Israel now, which is a bit concerning to a mother image to
Right.
her, I think. But yes, it's going to come back, and we will do some form of that. It was at the amphitheater 2 years ago. It was magnificent,
Right.
and I want to repeat that. And I need people to help me. I would love a volunteer, a younger person, to jump on board and want to know how to do this, because everything we do as commissioners, people need these opportunities, because again, if you start thinking about kindness, you will commit to doing kindness, and then you'll recognize kindness happening in our community.
Do you have a story of someone that you've encountered that you were kind of able to switch them from being in a bad way and think about kindness?
There are those people who along the way come to mind. I can tell you about this one particular person who was a bit of a curmudgeon, and because they read what kindsby.org, what was on our website, and also what we put on social media, Instagram, Sonia Whited does a wonderful job with our posting. Heather Brooks does an absolutely wonderful job with our website. But because he saw the commitment of Salisbury to kindness, he made donations that helped us commit to needs that we did not have the funding for. So that to me is a true commitment to changing the attitude that he had.
Right.
And still follows what we do.
Right. So
Yeah.
if I want to donate money, how do I do that?
kindsby.org is our website. There is a portal for you to donate through that website. Also, it can be made to Wicomico Grows Kindness. Any check can come to me, because my Wicomico Grows Kindness nonprofit is the umbrella for Kind SBY. The city does not handle any of our funding because they can't, but everything is done for not only Salisbury, but all the surrounding area, because we are committed to including everyone. In fact, Meals on Wheels at MAC
Right.
delivered almost 500 goodie bags to seniors, another thing we did during COVID.
Right.
And they got a little goodie bag that people donated to, and received some Hershey Kisses was the only thing we could put in that they could have chocolate-wise. And they were thrilled to get that with their meal, because they had a 37% uptick of requests for meals during COVID.
Wow.
So Kind SBY was thrilled. We had community members countywide come and help pack those bags. That was great fun.
Yeah, I see your ambassadors everywhere.
Yes.
They're at the little name tags, and I didn't even
Yes.
realize there were so many of them.
Yes, and Minuteman Press made our beautiful name
Chef
tags.
Merritt is amazing,
Yes,
yeah.
he is. Operation We Care, we have donated. I volunteer. I begged to go pack with mask after mask on. I finally got a chance the other day, met new friends. That's what it is, Greg. This whole kindness deal is the people you meet. Together Cafe, newly named from Old Town Deli.
What a great,
Vicente. If you on the website very soon, you're going to see an interview with him. We have a little intern, London Shao from SU. She's doing wonderful filming for us. I think she's going to be contacting to put some things on
Sure.
Pack 14.
Great.
But the people are so willing to help. SBY Coffee, John Robinson and Jenna, very supportive of Kind SBY and Waikamaku Grows Kindness. We just have all the people on board. I think it's going to continue after COVID. We're coming out of this in a big, hopeful way, and I just couldn't be happier for Salisbury and the area.
Now, I have to tell you, I'm very jealous because there is a man in town that you are so obviously in love with, and his name is Mayor Jake Day. You want to talk about that at all?
He could not be more supportive of what I've wanted to do in the city. It started very quietly with the first yes for Dance for Kindness in 2016. And I put it out in the universe when he...
Now, if I'm the mayor and you call, I'm going to be like, you want to do what?
Yeah, well...
On my street, you want to... No,
I've had a little bit of that.
Grace.
I've had a little bit of that, but I made North Division Street famous with that Dance for Kindness.
When you moved it over to the amphitheater, it's a better place. But I love the photos with the buildings. But I understand the amphitheater is a much better place. But go ahead, sorry.
Me too. No, but because he said yes, then it just kept rolling, and this mission took on a life of its own, and it was the journey that I've been blessed with, is because people need this, Greg. In this day and time in our world, and every news account that you see, it's always negative until the last 3 minutes.
Right.
So we need the kindness to keep growing. And Jake has been from the first and only TEDx in 2016.
Which was my first experience with you, and I was blown away by that event. And I've researched to figure out how the newspaper could sponsor one, and then COVID hit. But I want to find out a way that we can bring that back.
Oh, we definitely do. And Jake would be totally on board because he got that together, and he had all those young, I call them youngsters, and Martin was there too, growing more than veggies.
I was like, who are these people?
Yeah, growing more than veggies and kindness in action, and we've been partners in kind ever since. And Jake is just the powerhouse behind progressive redevelopment of Salisbury, and a very important part of that is kindness. And he touts it, and he shares it, and he even from Africa brought me a sign that he found ladies who were making, and it said, "Kindness is magic."
Wow.
And he said, "I know who's getting that banner." So he's fully on board, and I admire him greatly for his vision, and I think my generation did not do everything we could have done for Salisbury. Please excuse me, but I feel that's a fact.
Yeah.
And
we just sort of sat there in judgment of everything rather than get out there and do it.
Right, and thank goodness for the youth in our community right now, and they are doing many wonderful things for all of us.
Now, when you had this idea, did you think it would grow into what it has?
I had no idea. I did not think. I knew that it was going to be popular because who can turn their back on kindness, really? And what I think is that because people need this, they're willing to participate, they're willing to get on board, and it has taken on a wonderful life of its own. However, here's what I'd like, and I'd like to make a challenge. I feel that every Long and Foster, every realty company, every business could have a logo on their website that says Salisbury is the first World Kindness USA city. And I feel that people would pay attention to that. So I'm happy to send the logo out to anybody who would like it. And when that happens, I'll just feel like it still has the momentum that we want it to keep. And I'm so grateful for all the volunteers, every kindness bracelet wearer, every kindness clip purchaser, for all the support, and every donor that we've had. I couldn't be more proud of Salisbury and the area and everyone who's involved.
I saw recently Craig Founts, who does the trash pickup. You all are even involved in that.
Absolutely, because who wouldn't want to have a cleaner city?
Yeah.
I applaud Craig for showing up in Salisbury because he had heart issues and he wanted to come to a renowned hospital, which has helped him. He still has some issues, but to think that he developed this plan to clean up our city, it's just phenomenal. And he was another one. He and Michelle Nelson, who is one of our kindness commissioners, that was another 2 certificates that Jake gave out at his welcome home to laud them for mobilizing people to clean our city.
Yeah, and Michelle's helped me. She's contributed some great photos to the newspaper. So thank you, Michelle, very much.
Another phenomenal kindness commissioner.
Yeah,
yes.
she almost seems like your wing person.
She is. She is wonderful. We count on all of our commissioners. They all have their own special interests that lead to kindness also. Everybody, I can't say enough about Deshaun Dowdy, who has his finger in almost every segment of the community in these committees that he's on and boards that he's on. First African American president of the JCs in 84 years.
Isn't it amazing?
I know.
Yeah.
I love it. So I have these wonderful people around me who are doing our great work for the community.
Where do you want this thing to go? What do you want to do next?
I want it to continue. I want it to get even bigger, and any time that we can get our story out is a phenomenal plus for Salisbury and for our community. In fact, we had our story put in a compiled book by Tara Ije, who is the founder of Love Glasses Revolution. Martin and I are both in this book.
Yes.
He loves to share his story about community gardens and how good they are for the community, and I love to share a kindness story because I think it is easily replicated. And that is one of my goals right now, is to fashion Salisbury's kindness story so other cities can take the lead and replicate it in their city.
Yeah, I loved how you would be out there where the picnic tables are by the courthouse, and you just welcome people to come over and talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Martin and I could talk their ears off, him on veggies and me on kindness, and partners in kind for a good long time. Now he's in the chicken industry, though.
Yes,
Greg.
he's growing chickens.
He's our egg producer.
At his new home, and on Facebook every day he documents the production of every hen. So
now he's got guineas to take care of his tick population.
Oh gosh,
He's a marvel. Yep.
Yeah. Where do these people come from?
They're all around us, and all we need to do is tap their interests and give them a new interest. And if it's kindness, then I know that Kindness Commission has done our job.
You've given me great fodder with great things that are positive to put in the paper, because there is a vibe that goes on.
And there will be more. And you just have to look out for that ice cream truck, because it's coming.
She's baiting me with the ice cream. This is good.
Right.
Grace, thanks for being here today. What's your website again?
kindsby.org. All the information, beautiful community pictures. I mean, people will just be proud of Salisbury and the surrounding community if they go to our website.
And you have plenty of money. You don't want them to donate while they're there.
I do want them to donate.
They can just look at the photos.
And I want them to be sponsors. And I want to tell you a little bit about that. Being a sponsor, it gives their employees, if the business does it, it gives them an outlet. We have wonderful business who do a lot of kind things. They don't need Kind SBY, but if you attach yourself to Kind SBY, we will tout your horn all over.
Right.
Yeah.
She's Grace Foxwell Murdoch. She's one of my favorite people on earth, and we're thrilled she had time to be with us here today. Thanks, Grace, for being here.
Thanks, Greg.
I'm Greg Bassett from the Salisbury Independent newspaper. Another edition of 101 right here on PAC 14.
First Shore Federal is proud to support PAC 14 and one-on-one. We'd encourage every business to support PAC 14 and pick a program and support it, and let's make a difference.